Hello friends, this video on integers part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Topics to be covered in this lesson are introduction, what are integers, integers on number line, properties of integers where we will discuss closure property, commutative property, associative property and distributive property, applications of properties. Now, so far we have learned about different types of numbers. So in your junior classes, you have learned about natural numbers, whole numbers. So let us have a very quick recap because this lesson is going to be all about numbers again. But this is going to be a new type of number. So what are natural numbers? Those numbers which come very naturally to us. So when we ask to start numbering, how does he start? How does he or she start? They start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So basically these numbers starting from 1 and ending till infinity. That means there is no end to it. There is no specific last number that we can define. So all these numbers are natural numbers. So the number of fingers in your hand is 5, which is a natural number. Now, if I ask you how many hands do you have, that's again 2, which is a natural number. If I ask you how many pages are there in your book, maybe 500 or 600 or even 1000. So when you look at all such examples around you, you'll see numbers, whether you talk about how many chocolates you have, how many books are there inside your bag, how many fingers is there in each of your hands, or how many hairs do you have on your head. So you look at any of these and you see that you have countable numbers and they are all examples of natural numbers. Now, what we had learnt before was that we found that 1 is the smallest natural number. So out of curiosity, you might ask what exists below 1? What is there before 1? Well, look at this example. So what do you see? This kid has 5 chocolates. So very distinctly we can see that he has 5 chocolates. You take away 1. How much is left? 4. You again take away 1. How much is left? 3. So basically as you keep reducing 1, you see that first it was 5, then it was 4, then it was 3, then 2, then 1. But what next? Now once you remove this 1 chocolate or once you take away this 1 chocolate from the kid, how many chocolates will be left with the kid? Exactly. There will be no chocolates with him. So the number of chocolates that is with this kid right now is 0. So 0 exists. But when we discuss natural numbers, we never bothered to include 0. Natural numbers starts from 1. So how do we include 0 in some type of number? So that is when we introduced whole numbers. Now the term whole itself means complete. So these whole numbers are nothing but the natural numbers along with 0. So these are basically numbers starting from 0. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 till infinity. So all natural numbers plus 0 makes whole numbers. Now you would have seen your timer or the stopwatch. So from where does the countdown begins? It starts from 0. So from 0 it jumps to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Similarly, if you have, say, a bundle of notes, let's say you have some 400 rupees, right? So when you have something like one bundle of note, when you had this much, this might be some 40 rupees. Now, if you increase the number of notes, this might become 400 rupees. So you see just the presence of zeros, it actually brings a huge difference. Now, would you agree with me that there is a huge difference between 40 and 400, right? Similarly, there is a huge difference between 400 and 4,000 or 40,000. But the difference as such is nothing but in the number of zeros. But as the number of zeros after a number increases, the overall value of the number increases. So 0 is a very significant number. You think of this, where you have a lot of students sitting inside a classroom. Now, do you see that there is a difference between 1 student sitting in the class and 10 students sitting in the class? So 1 and 10, how are they different? They are different just because 10 carries a 0 with it. So 0 when put after a number becomes very, very significant, and it increases the overall value of the number. Now the next curious question would be, what exists below 0? Because we saw that below 1 exists 0. So there must be something which exists below 0 as well. So what is that which exists below 0? So again, let us take the same example which we took before. So what do we see? The same kid has 5 chocolates. Now let's assume that the kid is eating up one chocolate after another. So when he ate one chocolate, he's left with 4. He ate another chocolate, he's left with 3. Yet another chocolate is being eaten and he's left with 2. Finally, he's left with 1. Now the moment he eats up this chocolate as well, he is left with 0 number of chocolates. Right? Now he doesn't have any chocolate. So you might think that now he doesn't have any chocolate. So from where will he eat any further chocolate? Now let us say that there is another boy, maybe this is his elder brother, the kid's elder brother. And his elder brother has good stock of chocolates, so he generally has a lot of chocolates with him. Now this little kid, he asks his brother that, brother, I want to eat a chocolate, but I do not have one. So will you please borrow me a chocolate? So you give me a chocolate, maybe 1 or 2 chocolates, and I will eat them for now, but I'll return them to you later. And that's how he convinces his brother, saying that he will return the chocolate that he takes from him, and he takes 1 chocolate from his brother. So basically this chocolate is being given by the elder brother to the kid. So now if I ask you how many chocolates the kid has, the kid doesn't have 1 chocolate, because the kid, for himself, it is not his original stock of chocolates. He has already finished his original stock. So this is something which he has taken from someone else and which he has to return. Right? So basically, right now the kid has -1 chocolate. So he has a negative balance. Now, if he borrows 1 more chocolate from his brother, that means now he has -2 chocolates, because he has 2 chocolates. But why this negative sign? Because these 2 chocolates are not his own. It is being taken from someone whom he needs to return. So basically these 2 chocolates doesn't really belong to the kid. It belongs to somebody else from whom he has borrowed. So what did we observe? We saw that below 0 exist the negative numbers. So the negative numbers again start from -1 and it goes like this: -2, -3, -4, and again this also goes till infinity, because on the negative numbers also they extend indefinitely. So what do we conclude? We conclude that we have a set of natural numbers which are all positive. We have a 0, and we have a set of negative numbers all of which have a negative sign with it. So now the question is, I am not really convinced with the fact that these negative numbers exist below 0. Okay, you gave this example of chocolate, but somehow if I am not able to relate it to real life. Okay, so let us take this example, which is more easily related to our day-to-day life. Think of a summer day, a very hot sunny day in summer. Now, if you have ever come across the temperature column of the newspaper, now whenever you receive your newspaper every day, on the top right you would see that there is a small section where it tells you the temperature of that day, the maximum temperature, minimum temperature. So basically, it gives you information about the weather of that particular day. Now, on a hot summer day, how is the temperature? So the temperature can go as high as 50 degrees Celsius. Now, especially in cities like Delhi, sometimes the temperature actually goes even beyond 50 degrees Celsius. So this is the temperature during a hot sunny day in summer. Now, for the same place, if you look at the temperature in a winter night, when it is like very cold, freezing, snowfall everywhere. So at that condition, what do you think is the temperature? So now normally the temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius, minus 7 degrees Celsius. So the temperature is in negative. Now, have you observed this? Have you ever observed that for places which are located in the hilly areas, like in India, you have Jammu and Kashmir, you have Nainital. So these are like the hill stations, Shimla, and normally during winters, these regions get heavy snowfall, because of which their temperatures fall below 0 degrees Celsius. That is, their temperatures are negative temperatures. So here you see you encounter negative numbers. And what do you observe? That when the temperatures become very, very low, then the temperature is denoted by negative numbers. And when the temperature is quite high, then it is denoted by positive numbers. So these examples prove that yes, negative numbers do exist, and negative numbers exist below zero. Right? So this is one very common example. So now the question is, what are integers? Because we have come to this lesson to learn about integers. So what are they? So integers are nothing but collection of positive and negative numbers along with zero. So basically when you talk about integers, you have all the whole numbers, that is 0 plus natural numbers, plus you have the negative numbers as well. Now here on the number line, you can very distinctly see all the integers. So you see you have 0, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the right hand side. So all the positive numbers towards the right side and the negative numbers towards the left side. So that is how the number line is arranged.